Hi, my name's Danny Rice. I'm the manager of the Bookmobile at the Gail Borden Library. We wanted to make sure that we had some resources available for everybody who might be at home right now. So we wanted to recommend some ebooks that are currently available that you can check out through our website. My first recommendation is The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates. It's a book that came out within the last few years and has a very compelling story, beautifully written language, and is just a lot of fun. My second recommendation is Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut, which might be one of my favorite books of all time. If you're a fan of dark humor, then this one's definitely up your alley. In keeping with my dark humor theme, my last one is actually a children's picture book called We Don't Eat Our Classmates by Ryan T. Higgins. This adorable story is about a young T-Rex who goes to kindergarten only to realize that her classmates are all children, which happens to be one of her favorite snacks. You can check all of these out at gailborden.info.
Hi everybody, I'm Margaret, a librarian at the Gail Borden Public Library. We wanted to let you know that even though you can't come and visit the physical library building to check out your books and your movies, we still have lots of virtual ebooks, e-audiobooks, streaming movies. You can find all of these and more on our 24/7 virtual library webpage. I thought I could recommend a few of my favorite books. I'm calling these recommendations oldies but goodies. They're popular titles from the past that maybe you've forgotten about, or maybe you missed it somehow the first time around, but they were some of my favorites. The first book I want to share with you was published in 2017. It's called The Alice Network, written by Kate Quinn. In 1947, American socialite Charlie St. Clair finds herself pregnant, unmarried, and on the verge of being thrown out by her very proper American family. Charlie also believes her beloved French cousin Rose, who disappeared during the war, may still be alive somewhere. Charlie's family banishes her to Europe, so she heads to London, determined to find her missing cousin. When Charlie's path crosses with Eve Gardner, a former spy recruited to the Alice Network during World War I, which is a real network that was in World War I, they join on a mission to discover the truth, no matter where it leads them. You can find the Alice Network by Kate Quinn on Hoopla or Cloud Library, in print and in audiobooks. They're all ebooks or e-audiobooks. The Alice Network was named one of NPR's best books of the year. Reese Witherspoon chose it as one of her book club summer reading picks, and it received 4.5 stars out of 5 stars on Hoopla. So I hope you give the Alice Network a try if you already haven't read it. The next book, this is the oldest book I chose. It's back from 2008, published in 2008, but it's one of my favorites. It's told entirely through letters. It's called The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. It was written by Mary Ann Schaefer. This is also historical fiction. Set in January 1946, London is emerging from the shadow of World War II. Writer Juliet Ashton is looking for her next subject when she receives a letter from a man she has never met. After he comes across her name written in a book by Charles Lamb, Juliet is increasingly drawn into this man's world through their continuous correspondence. Has Juliet found her next book subject, who happens to live on the island of Guernsey, along with a full cast of eccentric and charming characters? Look for this ebook an e-audiobook on Cloud Library. It was a #1 New York Times bestseller, and the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society was also made into a Netflix movie. I really enjoyed reading that one. Another oldie but goodie that I really enjoyed was published in 2015. The Time Traveler's Wife, written by Audrey Niffenegger. Maybe I liked it because the main character was a librarian. I don't know. But the main character, Henry, is a librarian with a secret. He travels involuntarily through time. His wife, Claire, is an artist whose life follows a natural sequential course. Henry and Claire's romance endures challenges of time and tests the bonds of their love. It was a very romantic novel. This debut novel from a Chicago area writer can be found as an e-audiobook on Hoopla and Cloud Library. This one was also made into a movie, a major motion picture. I hope you enjoy The Time Traveler's Wife as much as I did. I really enjoyed recognizing some of the local Chicago settings while reading it as well. Finally, the last book I'm going to recommend is a nonfiction title, but it reads like fiction. In 2018, author Michael Finkel published the nonfiction book called The Stranger in the Woods. Being a little confined to home today, you may begin to feel a bit like a hermit. And this book is written about a true story about a hermit who lived alone in the Maine woods, never talking to another person and stealing supplies to live from a nearby campground for 27 years. He never spoke to another person. If you like reading John Krakauer or other survival tales, you may enjoy this riveting true story that asks questions about solitude, community, and what makes a good life. You can find this nonfiction book that reads like fiction through Cloud Library. I found The Stranger in the Woods to be a fascinating read. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and letting me share some of my oldies but goodies with you. I hope you and your family go to www.gailborden.info. I also hope that some of my oldies but goodies reminded you of some earlier past titles you may have missed. And if you have some oldies but goodies you'd like to recommend, I'd love for you to share them in the comments below so I can find my next good read. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I'm looking forward to reading all of your oldies but goodies in the comments below. Thank you so much. Happy reading, everyone.
Good morning, this is Librarian Tish. Are you a binge reader like me? Let me tell you about 3 titles that you'll want to download as ebooks off of our 24/7 e-library. One ebook that you can download from Cloud Library is Elena Ferrante's My Brilliant Friend. And it tells the story of 2 young girls, Elena and Lena, growing up in 1950s Italy. It's a riveting read. You can binge read rather than binge watch if you're holding up. Also available as a downloadable ebook on Cloud Library is Ron Chernow's Hamilton, but it's more than, of course, the musical. It's a very erudite, wonderful plunge into history that history buffs will enjoy. And the last collection that I want to tell you about is downloadable from Hoopla. It's a Hoopla ebook boxed collection, so to speak, of Jane Austen's 10 novels. My favorite happens to be Pride and Prejudice. So whether you're staying in for whatever reason, please enjoy downloading lots of valuable resources from our 24/7 e-library. Thank you and stay well.